It's just a fanfiction, a story written by me, a writer. This has nothing to do with mentioned ideal BTS members, real life event, behavior or characteristics. Pics, sound, videos which are used in this video are not mine. Credit goes to rightful owners. But the editing and the storyline is mine. Do not copy it. The characters of this story would be flawed, grey, especially main deaths. So do not take them as ideal persons. This story might be dark for some readers. Read at your own risk. Tears pulled in her eyes thinking about her family. Oh, Dulce, don't cry. You want to know a happy news, honey? 5 years ago, I asked my father to let me be free from this world. Instead of granting my wish, he gave me a last mission to complete before he would free me. Also, buy me top place to build my restaurant as a reward. The mission was to destroy Min family's peace by targeting the weak Min Wayan. She said in a low tone while he smiled and clapped once. Bingo, you got it. After all, you are a math graduate. He then pointed his towards her heart. Thanks, Dulce, for being ladder for me to climb onto my dream. I appreciate your help, he said, looking deep into her eyes, and finally pulled the trigger. With a jerk, Wayan woke up from her sleep while breathing heavily. Her whole body was covered with sheer sweat. She looked around her and found herself in her brother's guest room, where she went to sleep. A shaky breath left her mouth, whereas the clock that time read 2 a.m. Closing her eyes, she ran her palms through her whole face. Nightmare. She was having a nightmare all this while. Oh, it felt so real, so dire. It felt like greedy flame of fire embracing a firefly. The event before going to sleep came running back to her mind. The conversation she had with Jimin made its way to her memory. She grabbed her phone and from the side and called Jimin. On the second call, he picked up. Miss Min, can we go for our wedding shopping tomorrow? Tomorrow? Yes, I have made my mind. If we late more, then all the activities would affect my health in a wrong way. Don't worry, Miss Min. Every arrangement had been confidently done. I just didn't believe you would call today. Anyways, I will send my car tomorrow afternoon. Be ready. Wayan hummed and cut the call. She placed her palm over her belly and said, Hope everything happened smoothly and no one came to know about us. I'm sorry, Dad, Mom, Oppa, Unni, Fratello, but this only seems to be the better path. She then said a silent prayer to the Almighty and went to sleep. Wayan turned around and grabbed the glass of water. In one go, she drank it. But still, her restlessness didn't go away. What if this nightmare came true? What if he... So many what ifs started to roam in her mind. Her already restless mind was becoming more restless. She felt tears forming in her eyes. She felt as if she was stuck in the tunnel and the small ray of light that she saw earlier was now getting dimmed. The tunnel was becoming awfully dark, choking her. She couldn't think anything and grabbed her phone from the nightstand. She hurriedly called the person who always gave her the strength to again find another ray of light. The person's none other than her mother. She called her mom, but the first two calls went unanswered. On the third call, she picked it up. What happened, Ryan? Are you okay? Mom, don't scare me, Ryan. What happened that you were calling at this hour? Do you feeling any pain? I don't know, Mom. I feel like crying. Then she just burst into crying. Her mom kept asking her what happened, but she couldn't say anything to her. So she cried. She cried her heart out. After all, this might be the last call she would ever make to her mother. The path she had chosen now she cannot change, even if she had second thoughts or couldn't find the answer of what ifs. Next day afternoon. Taehyung and Wagin were going to train station in their car. It was different than the car Jimin had sent. As much as Taehyung trusted Jimin to help Wagin reach to Taehyung, he didn't trust his rival with the information of where they were going. Now, the circumstances were so critical that Taehyung couldn't even trust his own shadow. His mind had just only thought that he had to run away from this place safely with his love and unborn. Please let us reach station safely. He sent silent prayer to the Almighty, but alas. Few cars had circled his car, making him halt. Vine gasped when she saw many men coming out from the cars with in their hands. Before Taehyung could do anything, some men came towards them and forcefully brought them out from the car. Taehyung looked ahead and saw his father coming out from one of the cars, which made his eyes widen. Appa! Is my nightmares becoming true? Is he really betraying me? How? Bingo, I was right then. I thought you were planning something very stupid when you were more aloof in work than you were previously. But I never assumed you would be fleeing with that Min's daughter. Such a black sheep you are, just like your aunt. Then he said to his man, and you morons, what are you waiting for? Pacify this girl, then we will decide about my youngest son. Immediately the men pointed there towards Wagin and one of them fired it while aiming towards Wagin. But before it could touch her, Taehyung pushed her and the went while touching his bicep, tearing his skin. Wagin's eyes widened seeing this, but he didn't care. His only focus was to protect her, protect their unborn. Appa, please let us go. We won't ever come back. Shut up, you black sheep. And morons, what are you waiting for? Held him captive. And I don't even want this girl's body remain in this area. Do it. Taehyung tried to shield Wagin, but suddenly they all heard another car stopping there, and immediately Mr. Kim's men were shot. All of them were caught off guard. A man came out and a gasp left everyone's mouth seeing Wagin's father there. Taking advantage of their shocked face, Mr. Min darted anesthesia to Mr. Kim, which made him unconscious. Because there was an official word declared, he couldn't Mr. Kim, but surely the remaining Mr. Kim's men too. Then he started to come towards Taehyung and Wagin. Dad, please don't hurt him. Wagin begged, whereas Taehyung came forward to shielding her. You don't have to shield her, Kim. I'm not here to pacify you both. Shock and confusion was clear on both of their eyes after hearing him. When you called your mom last night, I was beside her too. Sure, I didn't talk to you, console you, but I heard your cries too. My heart still pained hearing your cries. That moment, princess, that very moment I understood you have made your final decision. You chose to again love him. Sure, I couldn't figure out that Jimin agreeing to marry you, him running away from here with you, all of this was his plan. Sure, I figured out you won't be marrying Jimin anymore, and there's a huge chance of you demanding to go away from him. But I couldn't figure out that you will be running away with him, that Jimin is also involved with you too. And you know, Vayan, what I did? I convinced myself to let you go. I sat back quietly, Vayan, defeated. In my entire life, I have been through a lot of fights, but today, Vayan, today I felt most defeated, defenseless. My own daughter had defeated me in the most merciless way. Tears welled up in Vayan's eyes hearing her father's broken tone, but she didn't utter a word. She couldn't. After all, this was the heart-wrenching consequence of running away with their enemy from her family like a coward. Anyways, Vayan, don't worry. I am not here to unalive your lover or you. No, this hand of mine has so many people's stain, Vayan, so many. This didn't even spare his own brother. But this father of yours can never hurt you, my child, never. Even if you stab me in the worst possible way, I can never dare to draw an ounce of from you. Tears dropped from her eyes hearing her father's heavy voice, which was filled with anguish. She couldn't able to look at her father's eyes anymore. Mr. Min straightened his shoulders and clenched his jaw. So, Vayan, leave from here as if you both are unalive. Run without leaving any traces behind. Made everyone believe that during this fight you two got pacified brutally. And don't trust anyone from now on, not even the ones who helped you in running away. Taehyung tucked Vayan's hand, said to her, "Let's go, Vayan. We need to catch the train. We need to." Vayan nodded her head. I love you, Dad. I really do. I never wanted to make you feel defeated, but I made sure to face the hardship of the life bravely, even if the things you thought turned out completely opposite to your expectations. Stay strong. Face everything without being coward. And you, Kim Son, hopefully nurture your child better than I did, so that you can never face the heartache I suffered. He took a last glance at Vayan and left from there. His last words broke Vayan and she started to wail loudly. Taehyung tried to console her as he understood what she was feeling right now. Few hours later. Taehyung and Vayan were sitting on the train. The train was quite empty. Only very few passengers were there. He embraced her, whereas she kept her head in his chest. They had so many unsaid words clouding in their chest. Their fear, their relief, their words of comfort, so many things. Obviously, they are gonna express those to each other. But for now, But for now, at this moment, they only kept their focus on the whistles of the train, which was not only indicating the number of stations they had left behind, but also the closeness of their destination, their new future, bright and hopeful. A future where they wouldn't have to hide their relation. A future which would be free from any rivalry or fights. A future like any other normal people in the planet. A future bright and hopeful.